Four Clever Brothers by Lynn Ricards. Illustrated by Galia Bernstein. Cast list. The judge is a wise man. His name means justice. Gilad, a camel owner, is a foolish man. His name means camel's hump. The Four Brothers. Tazim is the eldest brother, and his name means honor and respect. He is the natural leader of the four, and his brothers look up to him. Cameron is a hard worker. His name means successful. Sadiq is a serious young man. His name means truthful. Latif is the youngest brother. His name means kind. Judge. I am Adil the judge. I am going to tell you a story. It takes place in a dry and dusty desert land. My story concerns Gilad, the camel owner, who came to me one hot afternoon to settle an argument. This was an unusual case, and I remember it well. Everything I will tell you is true. Judge. There once were four brothers who were very good hunters. Their father taught them how to track an animal by listening and looking for clues on the ground. They learned everything about the way animals live and how they think. By the time the four brothers were adults, hunting came as naturally to them as breathing. One day, the four brothers were walking along a path between two villages. The path was dry and sandy, with grass growing on each side. As they walked, the brothers spoke softly to each other. Tazim. Do you see the footprints on this path? Look, just here. Cameron. It looks like something has passed this way recently. Sadiq. They are smaller than the prints of a horse's hoof. Latif. But they are spaced well apart. I would say it was a camel. Tazim. Yes, that's just what I was thinking. Judge. Suddenly, a man came rushing towards the four brothers, waving his arms in distress. Gilad. Help! You there! Please help me! Have you seen my camel? I'm sure someone has stolen it. Judge. The four brothers looked at each other with worried faces. Then they looked at the camel owner. Tazim. We would like to help you, sir. Tell me, is your camel blind in one eye? Gilad. Yes, it is. Cameron. And is it lame in one foot? Gilad. Yes, that is true too. It is an old camel and a bad-tempered beast, but it's the only one I've got. Sadiq. I'm sure we can help you find it. Latif. Tracking animals is what we do best. Gilad. I am very pleased that the brothers seem to know my camel so well, but I wonder how that is possible. Sadiq. I have another question for you, sir. Was your camel carrying a sack of wheat on one side? Gilad. Indeed it was. Latif. And did it have a jar of honey on the other side? Gilad. That is exactly right. Come, you must think I am a fool. How do you know so much about my camel? You four men must have stolen my camel. Tazim. No, sir, we have not stolen your camel. Do we look like camel thieves? Cameron. We have simply been walking along this path. I think you must have lost your camel somewhere else. Sadiq. How could we have stolen it? A camel is too big to hide in a pocket. Feel free to search for yourself. Latif. Believe us, sir, we have never even seen your camel. Tazim. We have simply worked out what your camel is like from the many clues it left behind. Gilad. What rubbish! I will have you arrested. Judge. So Gilad had the 4 brothers arrested and brought to me. Gilad. Adil, you are a man of justice. Hear my plea. These 4 men have stolen my camel, and they must be punished. Will you help me? Judge. Very well, Gilad. I will question them. What do you 4 men have to say for yourselves? How do you know so much about the missing camel? Tazim. It is very simple, sir. I could tell the camel was blind in one eye because the grass was only eaten on one side of the path. Clearly, the camel did not see the grass on the other side. Gilad. Humph, that is nonsense. How can he tell anything from a bit of grass? Judge. Be patient, Gilad. We must hear all they have to say before making a judgment. Leave this to me. Cameron. Sir, I knew the camel had 1 lame foot because of the prints it left in the sandy path. 3 of its hoof prints were strong and clear, but 1 was not, because the camel couldn't put his weight on that foot. Gilad. This man is trying to fool you, Judge. Don't believe him. Judge. Gilad, you must let me decide. You have asked me to settle this argument, and you must let me consider all the facts. Please try not to interrupt. Gilad. I'm sorry, Judge. Forgive me. Judge. Now, what more can you foretell me? You there. Sadiq. Thank you, sir. I could tell that the camel was carrying a sack of wheat on one side very easily. Judge. How was that? What clues did you see? Sadiq. There was a trail of wheat grains on one side of the path, and the ants were gathering to carry it away. There must have been a hole in the sack of wheat that let the grains fall as the camel walked. Judge. What about you, young man? What do you have to say? Latif. Sir, I saw drops of honey on the other side of the path. Flies were landing to taste the sweet honey. That is how I could tell the camel was carrying a pot of honey on the other side. Gilad. What nonsense! How can a few ants or flies on a path tell you anything? Judge. Gilad, what did I say about interrupting? Gilad. Sorry. It won't happen again. Judge. I have made my decision. Gilad. Guilty, of course! Throw them in jail! Judge. Gilad, I am tempted to throw you in jail. Will you listen to my judgment? Gilad. Yes, of course, Judge. Judge. I believe these brothers are not thieves. They are simply very good at seeing things that the rest of us miss. In fact, I would like to use their skills in future cases. I'm sure together we can catch many thieves. Tazim. Thank you, sir. Latif. We would be happy to work with you. Sadiq. It would be an honor, sir. Cameron. Thank you for believing us. Gilad. But what about my camel? If they didn't steal it, where can it be? Judge. I am certain these 4 brothers can help you find your camel. They have great skill when it comes to tracking animals. I only hope they will forgive you for accusing them of theft. Tazim. We would be happy to help you, Gilad. Cameron. I'm sure your camel can't be too far away. It's lame, after all. Sadiq. Don't worry, we'll find it. Latif. Let's go back to the path where we met. That is a good place to start. Judge. The 4 brothers and Gilad returned to the dusty path where they first met. Tazim. Look! Here are more camel footprints leading off the path. It must have wandered this way. Cameron. And here's a broken branch where the camel must have brushed past. Look, there's a tuft of fur it left behind. Sadiq. I think the camel went down this slope. Let's follow and see where the footprints lead. Latif. I can see a grove of trees. And what is that just behind a tree trunk? Gilad. My camel! Judge. The four brothers led Gilad down a sandy slope towards a small grove of palm trees. And sure enough, there was his camel resting in the cool shade. Gilad. Thank you, brothers! Please forgive me, and accept this jar of honey as a gift of thanks.
Four clever brothers. Gilad has lost his camel. But did the four brothers steal it? The judge will decide.